In the ancient world, power was everything. Mighty kings and their vast armies swept across the land, conquering cities and taking whatever they pleased. And in the shadow of this chaos, one man was about to show the world that true strength is unmeasured by the size of an army, but by the courage in a single heart. This is the story of Abram's daring rescue mission, a tale of bravery that has echoed through millennia. It all began with a brutal war. 4 powerful kings from the east, led by the fearsome Kedorlaomer, descended upon the plains of the Jordan. They crushed the armies of Sodom and Gomorrah and carried away their people and their wealth. Among the captives was Abram's nephew, Lot. When news of the disaster reached Abram, he didn't despair. He didn't wait for a larger force or a more opportune moment. He acted. He gathered his household, a small but fiercely loyal group of 318 trained men. These weren't soldiers from a royal army. They were shepherds, servants, and family members, bound together by loyalty to their leader. Against the victorious, battle-hardened armies of 4 kings, Abram's band was hopelessly outnumbered. But Abram had a plan, one that relied on surprise, speed, and the cover of darkness. Under the vast, star-filled desert sky, they marched. Imagine the scene: a small company moving silently through the arid landscape, their path lit only by the flickering flames of torches. Every shadow could hide an enemy. Every gust of wind could carry their scent to a watchful sentry. The tension must have been immense. These men were marching toward what seemed like certain death, yet they followed Abram without question. They pursued the enemy all the way north to Dan. There, under the cloak of night, Abram divided his small force. This wasn't a reckless frontal assault. It was a calculated, strategic strike. One group would create a diversion while the other, led by Abram himself, would attack the enemy camp from a different direction. They were using guerrilla tactics thousands of years before the term was even invented. The moment came. With a signal, they burst into the sleeping camp. The silence of the night was shattered by the clash of swords and the cries of battle. The conquering kings, so confident in their victory, were caught completely off guard. Chaos erupted. Tents collapsed, and soldiers, confused and disoriented, stumbled from their sleep into a nightmare. Abram's men were a whirlwind of focused fury, striking hard and fast, moving like ghosts through the pandemonium they had created. They fought with the desperation of men who had everything to lose and the courage of those who knew their cause was just. They weren't fighting for plunder or for glory. They were fighting to rescue their own. The mighty army, which had laid waste to entire cities just days before, crumbled under the shock of this audacious night raid. They broke and fled, with Abram and his men in hot pursuit. The chase didn't end there. Abram drove them relentlessly, pursuing them past Damascus, ensuring they could not regroup. And in the end, the impossible happened. The small band of 318 men had defeated the combined armies of 4 kings. Abram recovered all the goods, and most importantly, he brought back his kinsman Lot, along with the women and all the other captives. When Abram returned, the king of Sodom came out to meet him, offering him all the recovered wealth as a reward. But Abram refused. He raised his hand and swore an oath that he would not take so much as a thread or a sandal strap. He wanted no one to ever say that a human king had made him rich. His victory and his wealth came from a higher power. This incredible story shows us that with faith, courage, and a brilliant strategy, even the smallest force can overcome the greatest odds. It's a timeless testament to loyalty and the power of decisive action. If you were inspired by this story of ancient courage and strategy, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We have so many more epic tales to explore together. Thanks for watching.